All right, folks, we're back here for episode 6 of the final season of Atlanta. Crank That Killer. Turl and I are ready to get silly and have some fun tonight with this review. Oh man, I think they keep one upping themselves, man. I keep saying I'm not gonna watch this show no more, not because it's bad, but because it's so damn good that like I can't be having these laugh attacks in the middle of my week, man. It's unproductive. But man, last week I said I thought that was my favorite episode. I really like this one a lot too. So I think it's safe to say 6 episodes in, man, it's going to be our favorite season of Atlanta, definitively.
Oh yeah,
this is crazy. But Crank That Killer. Let's read let's read what the synopsis have to say for this one. So it says, "Hey, y'all remember how we used to hit the club and do the pool palace and crank that and nobody got shot? Yeah, me neither. So that's it." so let me read this again because I feel like there's something beyond silly to this that I'm not picking up on. So, hey, y'all remember how we used to hit the club and do the pool palace and crank that? What the hell is the pool? I gotta look that up.
I have no idea.
I looked that up right now. What is the pool palace?
Crank That Pool Palace?
It's two different. It's two. Hold on.
I can respectfully say I've never done the Crank That dance. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
I was in there. Listen,
clear my name right now. I never did it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So here we go. It's definitely an Atlanta thing. That's for sure. But I didn't know it had a dance. It's the dance that you've been seeing all the other folks doing way beyond that. All of the Travis Porter and all those other groups. Everybody was doing that dance. So yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, the whole point is that when back in that era, when the internet dances was taking over. And this is when people did not get shot when they went to the club. But hey, I wasn't down in Atlanta back then, so you couldn't tell me what was going on. But I know for us up in our area, like, yeah, we was on the internet looking for the next dance. And I instantly have to go to what I think is the funniest thing of this entire episode. When my man called Soulja Boy, which it was hella cool to see Soulja Boy on this in the first place. But when he said that he did the Crank That Jimmy Neutron, it's funny that I know exactly what he's talking about. And I was just like, yeah. And that's what it was, because back in the day, they just kept making new ones. It was a Crank That Spider-Man.
Yeah, I remember.
Neutron. They just kept making them joints. Like the internet back in the day was wild. And Soulja Boy's right. He ain't create YouTube, but he damn sure got it popping. Yeah. Back in the day. He got to get his credit for that. But a lot of things happening in this episode. Terrell, overall, what was your thoughts about it?
Man, like I said, man, I think I almost died a few times where I had to be flatlined and then resuscitated back to life because I was laughing so hard. Like every other moment from the beginning of this and just like where it was going, it's just so completely unpredictable as though what this episode was going to be about and where it was going, man. From some guy named Doug, just the whole interaction with that just had me rolling, man. But this episode's a 10 out of 10, man. It's amazing, and I'm definitely gonna watch it
again. Yeah, folks, let us know your favorite parts about tonight's episode in the comments below. But yeah, let's start with the top, where everybody's just sitting around in the room. Darius, Paperboy, and Earn, and they're having just a regular conversation that everybody's having nowadays. Hey, listen, you still got cable, you cutting the cord, but Darius is a hipster. So my man's like, listen, you need to cut the cord. And in terms of cutting the cord, that's typically related to cable. But my man like, nah, you need to cut the cable. You need to cut the electric. You need to cut the gas. You need to cut all of that. But, Baby Boy, like, I'm rich. I'm not living like that. I need cable because you can't stream the news, which is completely false. That's like one of the most freest of all free in the streaming services out there. So, but hey, you can't tell them anything. But then that's when the conversation came up. Like, man, y'all heard about the Crank That Killer? And honestly, I did not think that was going to be such a like big part of this episode. Usually the titles of the episodes like something very chill or like something like a joking or a gag or like form of a gag or some sort. But I didn't realize that this whole episode was really going to be about anybody who has some crank that material is going to be targeted and killed. And there's been a lot of other folks that's already been got. And this crank that killer is out here looking for any and everybody, which is funny because before they even mentioned that, like, yeah, man, you know, if you don't got nothing, you cool. And he was like, yeah, I ain't never make it that. As soon as they let that favorable, I was like, oh, my man's sweating. He nervous. I knew they was gonna have a video. That's why he was like, yeah, good thing I ain't never make one. But paperwork was looking like, oh shit, they got me. But Darius is like, man, you got 25 views. He might not even see it.
whole tone change.
And then when they showed the video of it, oh, I mean, I swear, if that's his original video from back in the day, that could be the funniest find on the internet right now. But I'm pretty sure they just made it for this episode.
Yeah,
and
definitely
had some fun with it. So, but at that point now, I like this show always got like very relevant tones and sort of narratives that it wants to cover. And the crank that thing, obviously by the synopsis, is like, you know, the running Atlanta joke on this. But the sneakerhead culture aspect of this is not what I thought they were going to go. But man, if it ain't true, if it ain't the truest of the true,
yeah, what won't you do?
What won't you do? And it's true. Because I mean, funny thing is, like, when he brought up the statement of like, man, why is it so hard to get shoes? I was like, yep, that's kind of why I got out of it, man. Like, your money ain't really green no more. Like, you got to have tactics. You got to know somebody. You got to have a bot, you know, or that you're going to have to play.
Got money.
Yeah, everybody got money. It's just, you know, you got to have a connect. You got to spend 3-4 times the amount. You know, the reselling game is vicious out here. So, you know, so I was like, all right, cool. I feel that, you know, and I didn't think they were going to go on hot pursuit for these Nike Miracles, which aren't really a shoe. Maybe they are, but again, I'm out the shoe game. I ain't seen it one now. No, they're not. I don't know. I mean, by the tone of this, it doesn't seem like a good reason to create a shoe. Plus, you know, if you still an idea, you gotta pay somebody. So, right. Like, you know, and Nike ain't fond of just, you know. And hey, that's the big thing. Like he said too. Like he said, why don't you just ask them for a pair for me? And he's like, Nike said, nah, fuck y'all. It's because you can't. You listen. Wale doesn't have a shoe, and my man was advocating for Nike like he thought he had a shoe, and he never got one. So like, yeah, you know, clout chasing on some Nikes ain't gonna get you a shoe deal, man. You know, you gotta come at it an innovative way. They're not plugging nobody just because of, you know, who you are, because they don't care. And I think that's the other narrative too, is like, Nike just don't care. Like they put their shoes out, and listen, after that point, they're like, forget it. It's on the streets now. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, this is literally one of the funniest, like, whole little mini parts or should I say portions of an episode ever. Going to holler at the shoe guy. Yeah. Now, everything about this, we'll go back and talk about Roberto in a minute. But everything about this is so telling, because they get to the mall and Darius like, yeah, you legit, you know, word on, you know, name around the street is the shoe man. My man definitely have one of the most suspicious vehicles, period. And at one point, so before we actually go to what happened, what was your thoughts as Darius and Ern gets out the car and they walk towards this van? Did you think they were going to do you think they were going to that van? Do you think that van was just like, and again, because everything's kind of converging to this mall. You know, we didn't know that Al was going to get there at some point, but we seen they get out the car. We see Roberto get out the car at a scene, you know, just as this extra person and whatnot. But we see everything starting to converge in one area. So like now I'm thinking like things are going to get a little coincidental here. But for you, what were you kind of thinking as they sort of got out their car as they was looking for the shoe man?
At first, I thought because of the transition that it was Al bought like a van and was trying to go off the grid or something like that, and that they were going to meet up with him.
Yeah,
not like this dude in the van with like whole whatever inside, had a whole shoes
Host.
around the van and
Yeah,
everything like that.
a whole stock of them. Had a whole little consignment shop in there doing his thing.
Yeah, it was mad suspicious. Like I said, I thought it was Al that was in the van at first. I'm like, nah, they're not about to get in this. And sure enough, man, they came for them Nike Miracles and they wasn't leaving till they got them.
Yeah, I definitely thought they were just gonna walk past it and like go somewhere else, and I
Right.
thought they
Or
were
they were
gonna
gonna
like
get taken somewhere else.
yeah, or even that too. Yep. But yeah, they get in there and obviously it's the most creepiest looking van possible, and they're just like, hey, what you fellas getting? It's like, hey, we want the Nike Miracles, and before they can even say, they're like, what size? He's like, 11. He's like, all right, cool, got 11 and 10 and a half. First of all, I wear a 10 and a half, so I bust out laughing because Darius is absolutely right. They never have our size. So like he's like, yeah, they never have our size. So so he was like, hey, we got the last two bet. So he says, how much? Oh, nothing really. Let me see y'all kiss real quick. Like what? And like it's funny because Darius is like, all right, cool. Let's just get it over with, But it's funny because like this man Earn is completely saying all of the complete most necessary things about the sneakerhead culture. These fools will do anything for it. He's like, listen, and everything he's saying, like, it ain't that serious, Darius making claims like, man, these joints, they a stack.
Only 1,000 in
Online.
the world,
Yeah, only 1,000 made, a stack resale, and they right here, man. All we gotta do is just kiss you ain't gonna kiss your friend for shoes. So listen, I'm not going to kiss my friend for some shoes, man. Like he said, I'm out, man. Yeah, he's like, I'm not paying $1,000, and I'll just pay retail, but can't find them. Obviously, they're right here, so they, just make a kiss. And he's like, well, all right, cool. Now he was like, well, how much? He's like, nah, man, you're not hearing me. Like, how much? And he's like, nah, just to kiss, Well, how long? He's like 8 minutes. Like, oh hell no. Nah. He's like, listen, all right, well, let's haggle there. And he said, listen, let's pack. He's like, man, you ain't kissing your grandma. Darius is like, listen, let's get this shit over with real quick, man. I'm trying to get these shoes out of here. And then Earn's basically like, listen, it ain't worth our dignity.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's again, sneakerheads would do anything. Camp out for 2 days, rob a motherfucker, fake money. I didn't seen it all. I mean, it's all sorts of different things folks will do to try to do it. And God knows, the leading up to getting them, having the bots and just all having 10 phones with 10 accounts open at the same time. I mean, they do what they gotta do, man. And I say Dave because I'm definitely out of that game. Like if I want something I tried, then I'm out. I'm not doing all that extra shit. But yeah, he says, listen, they negotiated down to 2 minutes while listening to Casey and Joe. So yeah,
oh my life.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to the conclusion here. But like going back earlier too, so we meet this guy Roberto who having a conversation with his girlfriend, and he obviously, well, we didn't know initially, but he works at a food court spot, and he got a rap career, and he's just waiting for his one chance. He's like Big Sean, he didn't rap, he rapped for Kanye to get put on. He said all he needs is one chance, and girlfriend giving him the same thing that everybody give rappers. Sometimes you might gotta give that up, man. You might gotta get a real job or career. You got a kid, you got family to take care of. You gotta get out of your parents' spot, man. You gotta do what you gotta do, and she ain't saying that ain't true, but like it's the same old. But to me, I guess, and I throw it to you, what was sort of your thoughts about like the relevance of this character, and like what was this going to instate going forward? Because at this point now, I'm like, well, this don't have anything to do with the shoes. This don't have anything to do with anything cranking that. So like, what was going to happen?
Yeah, honestly, for a second there, I was thinking like, maybe is he like the crank that killer? He just happens to be in disguise of a guy looking to get a rap career or something like that, and he's just disgruntled about the crank that dance ruining rap for him or something like that. But then he's out here selling hibachi samples or whatever it was to free chicken. As my man said, yo, everybody already know what that shit tastes like. It's like everybody that had it, bro. Free samples. But But yeah, man, like I really wasn't sure where they were going with that. Or if it was just like, again, I thought maybe they were setting him up. He was going to take the fall, or he was going to eventually come and save Paperboy or something like that from the Crank That Killer. Or, that's kind of where I thought it was going in my head. But I don't know. He kind of played no relevance here.
Yeah, I was like, did I miss something? Because like I don't know, and y'all can let us know in the comments what you thought, what you think Roberto's whole relevance in this.
Yeah,
And
he
maybe
handed his food off to the Sombrero girl.
she's like, "Oh, you work here?" Yeah, that was funny as hell. Going back a little bit earlier now too. Again, going back to the conversation where they was just like, "Why is it so hard to get shoes nowadays?" Resellers really got the game fucked up. Anyway, this goes into some guy named Doug coming into the studio here. Now, when that happened, I was just like, "Oh, that doesn't sound suspicious." But obviously, he had knew who he was, and this guy's some obsessed. I'm not gonna obsessed like amateur rapper who trying to get put on, and he's just trying to get Paperboy on the track. He trying to do some music. Like, I got beats. My man energy all different than Paperboy's too, because like he gives you that. It's kind of funny because I don't know the guy personally, but for whatever reason he was giving me Chance the Rapper hard, like just very just very
man, it did feel like that.
Yeah, like just very like, I don't know, bubbly and just kind of just like optimistic, like, man, we could do this, da 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 da. And Paper was just like, nah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. To the point that he poured Henny on the soundboard. So the system crashed. Like and gave every excuse. It just wasn't necessary. He could have just told dude no.
But he out here trash, man.
That trash. He blew his whole system for this man. And he was just like, man, we don't gotta pay for that, do we? But anyway, Paperboy, looking at his YouTube comments that had 25 views, now has a comment with the skulls in it, with a skull on it, and now Paperboy now sweating. By the way, y'all leave some skulls in the comment below for us. If y'all watching this review, leave them skulls down below, everybody. But anyway, yeah. So that's when they went to the shoe guy and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, again, going back to the mall now, Paperboy trying to blend in. But people who try to blend in,
disguise.
Yeah, exactly.
The MCU disguise.
Absolutely. And that was very, very funny that they did that. He's like, everybody try to blend in, blah, 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 blah. It's hard to find a hat without a logo on it. Also funny. But yeah, it is completely the Marvel disguise, the Captain America disguise, Civil War, I believe it was. And he tucked his ass again, and that's Chris Evans right there. Definitely was not Chris Evans, but yeah, absolutely like funny as hell. Like that was a little nice nod that they did there, because it definitely is on par with the let's blend in with Black Widow and him trying to like go under the radar, just get these random hats and act like nobody know who they are. But yeah, clearly not. But yeah, so Paperboy try to leave out the mall. My man with the GPS loud on his speakers from his Dodge Challenger pulls up and yo Paperboy, and he's getting targeted now. What did you think to this point of the episode, man? What was happening through your mind here?
I thought it was weird that he had a GPS that's specific to his location, like he could track him specifically to where he was at. Like, how would you know? I mean, obviously everybody is like social media, so they probably telling him, yo, Paperboy is here, yada, yada.
Yeah, because everybody knows he's at the mall. Yep.
Right. He's like, he arrives at your destination. He just gets out like bad creepy. So again, I thought this was like, all right, maybe this is just like them trying to play us like this is not actually the guy or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But they started chasing him, and it started getting weirder and weirder. as he walked in, he tried to buy a name belt, a light-up belt, which apparently you got to be a crackhead in 2020 to buy a crack light belt.
Facts. I tell you, these shows are like badly coincidental, because like the whole GPS or whole like location thing and folks like looking at where you at to like run up on you type of thing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's been like derailed in terms of speculation as to why PNB Rock got murdered, as they try to say, like his girl had the location on, and that's how he got. But nah, they said that people was already there. But to that same point, it's still an awareness that everybody still on the streets was saying, like, hey, listen, when you out there, people know. And if you got beef, as he said, some dude who had beef with him since back in the day still had that beef still and tried to shoot him. So, there's a level of realistic horror in that, and surrealism, because these things are kind of happening like right now, and they didn't. This is not South Park. They didn't film this last week, or the week before. So it's just kind of like very eerily timed, and when these episodes are dropping. Yeah, everybody at the mall has a strap. Even the lady in the stroller pulls out the strap. Everybody's shooting down Atlanta. Like, it's wild down there, man. And and this is real, because at one point I kind of laughed, like, oh shit, they shoot now. I was like, oh nah, they trying off my man.
He was filming a movie, and it was just coincidence or something, like he just happened to be. And I'm like, no, these bullets really hitting stuff. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, hitting stuff, because no one got shot. That's the thing. Like, no one got shot, and it was just kind of just like, oh, so everybody just missing out here.
Right.
Nobody. Everybody got guns.
Yeah, hostage.
Like, yep. But anyway, going back to the van, get the 3 seconds of kiss, and my man, the shoe man, gets got. And obviously, first of all, they went longer than 3 seconds. Just
FYI. He stopped looking.
Yeah, and then they look up there, it's like, oh shit. And then that's just like, oh, we're gonna be an accessory. So they got their stuff and got up out of there. But then we see Paperboy running for his life, ducking and dodging. Everybody shooting at everybody. No one's getting got. The only casualty happens to be the shoe man, who is completely gets shot by a stray. I mean, you have to think the trajectory of when this dude came out, where Paperboy was at, where the guy that was shooting at the other guy was at. How the hell did my man, the shoe man, get shot way out of the way? That, again, is another telling thing about how these shootings be happening. We're gonna be like, man, the most bystander person gets shot that had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
Motherfuckers can't shoot. That's just what it is. Motherfuckers can't shoot out here. But man, I never thought this. So again, what did you think was happening now when Paperboy getting shot? Like, the moment you got him in front of the car, what was your thoughts? Like, what you thought the next steps were going to be?
I'm like, yo, it's over. I mean, obviously not going to kill him. It's episode 6, right? I'm thinking he was about to go out and try to, he was going to try to fight him or something like that. You know what I mean? But he ain't have his gun on him. So he ain't about to, but what I didn't expect was my man's to pull up and do what he did. You know what I mean? And I think this ties back into the episode of what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want, or get the safety, get your shoes, what do you want to let go, whatever. Yeah, I didn't think what was going on, man. But the whole Crank That Killer, they built up a whole mystery behind it, and I'm thinking somebody was going to come back and shoot my man or something like that. But yeah, I didn't expect my man, some guy named Doug, to pull up.
Yeah,
and offer a ride. I thought Doug was going to be the Crank That Killer.
Yeah,
I thought it was like, okay, this makes sense. He's been setting them up. He was trying to catch him because they say, hey, he's been trying to catch me week after week. Like, maybe he was the Crank That Killer that whole time.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. And I thought that, like, because the Crank That Killer was trying to go out there, like, other inspiring artists potentially, or folks who are on the same grind as him. So he's trying to up his chances by eliminating other folks. I mean, because apparently everybody had a Crank that wanted to either make content or either get in the business. I mean, and it wasn't just learning to dance, but that's how people were getting on. The whole Collie Park brand was nothing but dancers. Like, Get Silly Dude, VIC, that's the VIC, Get Silly Dude, Hurricane Chris, it was like Soldier Boy.
Damn, Hurricane Chris. all
these folks were like dancing dudes that kind of just got on off these little bops and whatnot. So that's I guess that was just the means of like success. And maybe my man Crank That Killer was like, if I get rid of them, maybe I could get a chance to, like, get my moment. Who knows? I don't know. It was kind of crazy, but I definitely think it was going to be some guy named Doug. I thought it might have been Roberto, but I was like, shit, my man got dropped off by his baby mom, so it couldn't be him. So, but it's just funny.
Roberto was just wrong place, wrong time, and like, he could not read the room at all. Like, it's just time to give it up, bro. And he just got knocked into a whole glass window with one push. He got, oh my goodness.
And
Yeah, that's not what you. I mean, if your favorite rapper pushes you down, I think it's time to give it up. I think that was
and,
the
li-
lesson there.
and listen, and some guy named Doug completely just did not read the room either. Like my man almost got killed. He's oh man, we here. I made a new beat this morning. I'm going to the studio. Man, we gotta do a song. And
Yo, his
yeah,
facial expression changed, yo. In the car. Oh my goodness! Like I
and
swear to God, I thought he was gonna jump out the car, yo.
me
I
too.
swear to God, I thought he
Me
was
too.
gonna jump out the car.
Yeah,
Oh my
me swear
goodness!
to God, me too. But going back to Soldier Boy really quick, it was cool to see Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, when we heard his voice over the phone, I was like, that's definitely Soldier Boy. And getting him on there, I was like, all right, dope, dope, dope. I mean, we've been having cameos all season, so it makes sense.
I don't.
Soldier Boy basically nodding to all of his success. You know, he talked about the glasses, he talked about YouTube, he talked about his gaming system. He's
I don't know how
obviously
he.
getting out of Dodge. He said he's got so much crank that material and content. He gotta get low, man. And he said, listen, you gotta have that State Farm protection, man. Like State Farm always on your side. He's like, man, you gotta have that, bro. Like this real out here.
This man was constantly on the move from the crank that killer and at the
Yep.
top of the list. Ain't gonna
Mhm.
find me. I got the safe farm. I literally got a safe farm hidden from this guy, not knowing who it is, who it could be. I love how they build up the suspicion of the situation in the entire episode, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what you gonna do, man? What you willing to sacrifice out here?
But yeah, it was definitely cool to see Soldier Boy, man. Definitely I got a lot of respect for him. I know like sometimes be off the rails, but like, you know, for everything that he's done in terms of like this whole wave of hip hop and rap and hip hop where the dancing, the boom of what YouTube is. I mean, how dare you all forget about the ringtone era? That's definitely him. All him. And you know the styling and the tire got hot for a little bit, the glasses got hot for a little bit, and my man, he went out there and bet on himself. He made his own gaming system. People hated on it,
Yeah, got hit with a C&D.
Yeah,
he was illegally.
But he beat that because he realized it was nothing but the not the first one but the second one, because
okay.
it was nothing different than what everybody else do. With emulators,
right,
so, and so
he cracked it out on that now too.
So you know, I'm not mad at my man going out there betting on himself, investing in himself, and he made sure DJ Academics, who always say some wild shit, was held accountable for his shit as well too. And Soldier Boy also is known that if you run up on him, if you run up in his house, he will shoot you. Protection. But we saw a different side of him this time, where he says, like, listen, I'm going to run from this guy. I'm not going to let him come get me. So it's just a lot of little funny things in that like people, hopefully people picked up on. But anyway, so we see who the Crank That Killer is. Definitely not who we thought it was going to be.
I thought it was Trick Daddy. They showed that picture, yo.
There's a name I haven't heard in a while. But you know, he's asking how everybody's day was, and everybody, you know, dude that people from high school still mad apparently, you know, and et cetera, and they talked about the shoes and so on. But then we hear the song, and the beat is trash, the song is trash.
Oh my god!
I gotta tell you now, what Darius was doing is completely funny to me, because I swear, if anybody like, and I don't even know how I just recently like thought about this guy again. But it's funny as hell. But I don't know if y'all remember the guy Brian Silver, that foo lame shit, I ain't with it. Like, okay, right. So yeah, apparently I just was looking at his Vine. I was talking about the Vine days back in the day. How Vine used to be hitting, and this is one of the premier person on Vine. And nonetheless, my man Darius is doing the dance that dude was doing on that joint. His little dance that he was doing in the mirrors and shit. I'm like, I know my man ain't doing the Brian Silver foo lame dance right there. That is beyond wild right here. Like, cut this episode off. This episode needs to end right now. They in a bad looking for the most wild and again a wild error, divine error. Like if they nod at episodes towards that would be completely hilarious. Like if they like y'all remember when we only had 3-second videos? Like, yeah, shit was wild, 3 or 5, whatever it was. But yeah, but overall this episode was nuts, man. just laughed the entire time. I didn't laugh during this review because I laughed so much right before. But it's so fucking funny, man. It's so fucking funny.
I think the moment that really took me out of it, was when Darius was like, when he asked him about the shoes, he was like, "Yeah, you know me, I did a little something." And Aaron's face, like he felt so cheap, like, yo, sold my soul. I only want these now.
Yep.
He was so cool, but he was like, "I'm down for whatever, yo. We gotta get him."
Yeah.
He completely ignored the entire speech. And was like, "So we doing this? So we getting these shoes?" I heard it, man.
And listen, nothing about Lakeith's sexuality as a person, but it is funny that Darius as the character being so just open and whatever has nothing to even do with the character. I think he's again is just portraying the idea of what degree would a sneakerhead go on any spectrum in order to get their shoes. That's what I get from this from that. It's that like he just kind of nonchalant, like, yeah, I did it. And folks, at the end of the day, they got their shoe. They don't care about what happened beforehand. They just like, I got them, and that's that. And Earn sort of giving a more realistic perspective of the folks outside of that culture, kind of looking like, wait, what? Like that's just a normal day for you? And not to mention, there was 2 other dudes that was outside trying to get some too, and everybody around the hood know who this dude is.
Up, what we doing?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, my man got to go, and he ain't about money. Everybody got money.
Niggas willing to kiss out here for some shoes. What y'all doing? Nah, I'm a pass.
So there you go. Anyway, yeah, folks, y'all check out this episode. I know y'all will. I mean, I know y'all have because that's why you're looking at the recap. But since y'all checked out this episode, jump in the comments to let us know your thoughts about our recap right now as we prepare for another week, coming back next week for episode 7 for the final season of Atlanta. Let us know your thoughts, your favorite moments, other things and Easter eggs and nods that you picked up on in this episode. Drop all those in the comments below. Y'all stay safe. If y'all got cranked that content, go ahead and delete that because we want to see y'all back next week. It's dangerous out here, folks. But thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll see y'all there.